The following audio may contain graphic descriptions of violence or audio clips of real-life distressing moments. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to Obscura, where we shine a light on the dark.
Welcome, listener. I'm glad you're here. Dating apps. Popular applications used to connect easily in a time when physical interaction is becoming less and less common. But are these applications a new service? Far from it. In 1959, Philip A. Filer and James Harvey launched Happy Families Planning Services, in which an IBM 650 was used to match 49 men and 49 women. In 1984, Matchmaker Electronic Pen Pal Network is created by John Bodie and Scott Smith. It eventually goes on to become Matchmaker.com, now known as the oldest of the existing internet dating sites. In 2012, Tinder is launched. Due to its ease of use, Tinder quickly becomes one of the most popular apps for hookup culture. Many who use Tinder have described it as addictive and instantly gratifying. With just a quick swipe, you can find out just how attractive others think you are. But Tinder has a dark side. With so much relatively anonymous human interaction, things were bound to get murky. In León, Mexico, December 2016, Manuel Bocanegra was arrested after his Tinder date's remains were found dissolved by acid. Again, in 2016, another Tinder date went south when a Colorado man thought he was going to meet an attractive woman, but was instead robbed at gunpoint. With that in mind, what can a person do to protect themselves from what essentially is a blind date? The case we're covering today dives into the world of Tinder dating, the murky world of hookup culture that surrounds Tinder, and a case that is less cut and dry than usual. There are a lot of twists and turns, and those in the true crime community have taken a strong stance on both sides. I'll be interested to hear the consensus of my listeners, so feel free to reach out. I should note that some of the audio clips in this episode would likely be distressing for victims of domestic violence. So, as always, use discretion. Now, let's get on with it. Part 1. The Tinder Date. August 5th, 2014. Immediately north of New South Wales, with a population of just over 600,000, the Gold Coast of Australia is a popular tourist destination that features theme parks, beach hopping, and one-of-a-kind shopping centers as just some of the attractions. Despite all of its potential tourist activities, 26-year-old New Zealand tourist Warina Wright found herself seeking companionship instead. Tinder was her app of choice. It wasn't long after swiping through photos and profiles when she found what she was looking for. Gable Tostee. Gable is an attractive man by most standards. Standing 6'3", he has dark brown hair, blue eyes, and a muscular build. There's also something intimidating in his gaze that's hard to put a finger on. On the night he first communicated with Warina, Gable skipped the pleasantries, blew past flirting, and got right down to business. In a highlight from their back and forth, Tostee opens with, "You look delicious. I want to do dirty things to you." Warina responded, "That usually work?" Another, Tostee began with, "Can you be a freak in the sheets, cleats?" Warina's response, "Probably not. Depends." Tostee, "What does it depend on?" Warina, "What I have to drink." Tostee, "Let's get drunk together. I'm a porn star after a few drinks." Warina, "Please don't be an old creepy pervy dude." Gable Tostee, "I'll try." After the two established each other's locations, as well as how long Warina would be staying in the Gold Coast on vacation, the two continued chatting over the next few days, and, eventually, exchanged numbers. August 8th, 2014. Their night together began with relative ease. They met in Cavill Ave, which is in the nightclub precinct of Surfers Paradise. Footage taken from CCTV show the pair greeting each other at 8:45 p.m. with the usual awkwardness that befits meeting a total stranger. As far as Warina is concerned, things were going well. She felt her date looked like an Australian Sam Winchester. Sam Winchester being a character played by TV actor Jared Padalecki in the television show Supernatural, and said as much when describing Gable Tostee to her sister over Facebook Messenger. A few minutes after first meeting, the two were again captured on CCTV in Surfers Paradise Tavern Beer Garden purchasing a six-pack of beer. At 8:58 p.m., Warina is recorded stepping into Gable's apartment complex elevator as the two head up to his 14th floor apartment. It wasn't long after that the two had sexual intercourse. Part 2. Gable Tostee. Born in 1986, Gable didn't like being a child. He would later comment that he always felt rushed to become an adult. As a child, he was obsessed with ancient Egypt. Despite his obsession with history, Gable hated school. He described drawing funny pictures of teachers, staring out the window, and just doing whatever it took to distract himself from schoolwork. Gable described his relationship with his parents, Gray and Helene Tostee, as good. According to him, to this day, they're known for filling his fridge up with food, even after he asked them not to do so. His mother is a school teacher, and his father, a carpet salesman. Together, his parents own a $452,000 property in Carrera, a suburb in the Gold Coast. One day, as a teenager, Gable decided to make himself a fake ID. He was shocked to find that it worked. Friends, of course, wanted one for themselves. And eventually, information spread that if you wanted a fake ID, Gable was the person to see. He would later admit that the fake ID racket spiraled out of control quickly. And in 2004, Gable Tostee was arrested and charged. Before his arrest, he had made somewhere in the neighborhood of $30,000 and, with the help of two friends, sold 500 fake IDs during Australia's Schoolies Week alone. Found on his home computer was a near-perfect reproduction of a bill worth $50. The court found that Gable Tostee suffered from social anxiety, obsessive-compulsive disorder, and to have at least partial autism. According to his legal counsel, Gable had also been the victim of school bullying growing up. After reviewing the evidence, the judge chose not to record Gable's conviction. The sentence, also relatively light for the charge, Gable only had to pay a fine and complete a small amount of community service. As an adult, Gable Tostee has been kicked out of a number of bars and clubs. According to Gable, the first time, a very large and popular Surfers Paradise nightclub banned him after getting in an argument with one of the bartenders on Facebook. On two other occasions, Gable was banned from nightclubs by the head security officer for, quote, creeping out young girls. Gable would later say, "I won't lie, over the years, I've been kicked out of both a few times for looking or acting drunk, but never caused any trouble or started any fights or anything serious. I'm not even sure why the security manager has banned me. Could be personal, could be anything. Who knows?" As a personal aside, in the past, I worked as a security officer. This is just an opinion, but I feel that if Gable was considered a nuisance enough to ban, then he is likely downplaying his behavior. As a rule, security doesn't go out of their way to ban anyone. That's just losing a place of business their customer. To further illustrate my point, in 2013, Gable arrived at a brand new nightclub only to be recognized by security staff and escorted out immediately. It seems, at least among nightclubs, that he carried with him a reputation. As a way to dismiss his reputation, Gable has been quoted saying, "In my city almost everyone my age goes out in town, at least every now and then. It's a local culture, but unfortunately, small incidents can be blown out of proportion, and getting a bad name can be like wildfire spreading." Around the time he began getting banned from clubs, Tostee became a carpet layer. He was getting paid $70 an hour. This allowed him to work part-time for only 4 hours a day. Despite his short workday, Gable was still known to complain about the tiring nature of his labor-intensive work. Some articles I've read have been judgmental about this fact, but 4 hours of hard work is still hard work. And I've seen certain articles reference Gable becoming tired from work as the reason that Gable Tostee started working out, citing that he began doing squats to build up his leg muscles and gain the endurance needed for the job. I won't rule out the possibility, but his presence on the bodybuilding.com forums seemed to indicate otherwise. A member since July 2004, before he would go on to make a now infamous forum post, Gable already had 5,869 posts on the forum. This, to me at least, indicates that his weightlifting interests went beyond trying to combat work fatigue. Speaking of bodybuilding.com forums, Gable, who went by the username GT, was known for bragging about his sexual escapades. He openly spoke of using Tinder as a way to hook up with women. On some occasions, he bragged about being successful. On others, he'd openly talk about his failures. In one post, he commented, "Just had a big fail streak over the weekend. Met up with 4 different chicks, 3 who came over to my apartment for drinks, but were totally frigid." In some of the posts, Gable was openly angry by his failures. He commented that he was tired of wasting his money and time on, quote, bitches. At one point, he mentioned receiving 30 misses on the Tinder app. Gable once posted about an occasion where he attempted to come onto a woman, but she turned down his advances and kicked him out of her apartment. When he brought up his woes to the bodybuilding forums, one poster had this to say, "It's pretty simple, bro. Girls can actually choose who they want to have sex with. I know, crazy, right? And you weren't chosen at that time." However, according to Tostee, it wasn't always failure. In his forum posts, he bragged about sleeping with about 180 women, and claimed the secret to his success was just a numbers game. Gable posted that if he used the app every day, he would see his success once every 5 days. In a later interview, Gable would colorfully describe his obsession with Tinder by saying that he barely had a thumb left after so much use. It's this extreme dating that leads us back to August 8th, 2014, when Gable is sharing his apartment and bed with Warina Wright. Part 3. The Balcony. After spending hours together, Gable begins recording his and Warina's date at 12:55 a.m. Keep in mind that the audio is going to be trimmed for time. There are over 3 hours worth of recordings, and obviously, it's not worth playing all of it. It's clear at this point, both are highly intoxicated. At first, things seem mostly civil.
Chill and have a drink. Or just hold it.
Your foot's pretty good looking.
I know. Everything is good looking on me. Oh! Don't taste you.
Taste.
Shit.
Taste. T is T.
Sorry. Wait!
Taste. Taste. Oh, this is really moist.
You're really moist. Yeah, because
What
he's
happened
a poor
here?
like. Wow.
Here.
Oh, no. I'll show you my favourite house that I built. You'd like it. It's a gay song, eh? Shut up or I'm gonna make you come again.
Shut up or we're gonna fucking beat you up like a jet.
You love beating me up like a Kiwi.
I beat people up all the time.
You only beat up your Tinder mate.
Marry that girl. Fuck, marry one chick. Fucking.
Have a look at this. See?
You do look like Sam.
I wouldn't look like him if he kept beating me up. I'll look like
You look like Sam. It's so hot.
look like a piece of tenderized meat. See that?
Sam's a part of tenderized meat.
Would you like to jump in that
You know
pool?
what happens to Sam?
No.
He's like beaten up by demons and shit.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he turns into an architect and designs houses.
possessed by demons.
Who's Sam? Yeah?
Is that Winchester?
The guy you showed me. Hey, do you want to come to my work tomorrow?
Do you want to come to my family tomorrow?
Sure. Can you help me lay carpet tomorrow?
If you can help me tell my mom that I'm not a loser.
According to Gable, Marina started acting quirky.
Where's my sister's fucking shit?
What are you after?
Where's my sister's shit?
That's your bag there, isn't it?
Yeah, but where's her shit? Where's my fucking shit?
Like what?
All my fucking data. Where's all my fucking
What does it
data?
look like? Is it in there or?
It looks like a fucking iPhone. Shit.
Do you want me to ring it?
Yeah, I'd love you to fucking ring it.
What's the number? I'll find it.
Yeah, well, fucking...
There's a ton of your stuff right here.
It's fucking silly. It's fucking silly.
Hey, look. I didn't say you have to leave. I just said stop beating me up. Just go.
This is serious.
No, it's there next to the bed.
Where? Where?
There.
Where? You gonna fucking
Right there.
retie me?
Look.
Because I will
No.
I will fucking destroy your jaw. It's not fucking funny.
Look there.
Yeah, whatever.
Look.
You may
look.
fucking...
That's
Yeah,
your stuff.
sure, whatever.
That's your stuff right there. You're gonna.
Get it from me. Get it. Get it from me.
I don't know what to look at. That's your
Get it from
stuff.
me. Get it from me.
You get it.
I'm
It's
gonna
right
fucking
there.
get it. Get it
Right
from me.
there.
Get it from me. Get it from me.
I should never.
I'm
have given
calling
you
the
this
police.
stuff. Okay, do
I'm
it.
gonna fucking call the police.
It's
Get
right
it from
there.
me. No, I'm gonna call the police. Get it
Alright,
from me.
You do that.
Get it from me.
It's right there.
No, get it from me. Call the police.
Go to sleep.
Good. Fucking asleep. Get it from me now.
Come on, Cletus.
Yes, well, fuck. Get it from me now.
Right there.
Doesn't fucking make a lick of sense. Get it. Good. Yeah, sure. Sure makes a lot of sense.
That's it. Trust it.
Doesn't make shit. There's nothing else.
What are you after?
Okay, I'm gonna call the police, and they're gonna come here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? You gonna be alright with the police coming here?
Yeah, because
Okay, good. I'm gonna call the police.
what are you looking for?
Good. I'm gonna call the police. Like, where's my fucking money? You guys don't have shit.
Call them with what? I thought you lost your phone.
Exactly.
So how are you gonna call anyone without your
You
phone?
stole my fucking phone.
I didn't touch your goddamn phone.
You guys fucking stole my shit.
Shit, I should
So that's
never.
why I'm fucking calling them.
Should have never given you so much to drink. I thought we were gonna have fun.
Well, where's my shit?
Where's your
Where's
phone?
my shit?
What's your phone number?
Going
have it.
100 fucking psycho bitch. Fucking.
I don't deserve this shit, alright? I'm a nice fucking guy.
Yeah. Nice fucking guy with a little money. Well, why don't you have fucking soda?
Your phone must be out of battery. What's this? Oh, that's mine.
No.
Must be on the balcony.
Well, I have shitloads of money. Why is my fucking money?
Stop. Just calm down, please.
I'm not coming down
You've
because
had too much to drink, alright?
I'm not coming down because I've had so much to drink and I have shitloads of money in New Zealand. It's not funny. Because I'm a fucking rich in New Zealand. It's not fucking funny. And it's shitty because I fucking rule in New Zealand and it fucking sucks because people fucking take advantage of me in New Zealand and it's shit because I have fucking money. It's not fucking funny. Shit! You know?
Calm down, please.
Do you know Hawaii. Yeah, because no one else has money.
Do you even remember what you were doing to me like half an hour ago? That was freaking me out. You beat me up for no reason.
Exactly.
Why?
Because you said, you're a freak.
You thought it was funny or something. It's not.
No, I told you.
Like, you're kind of strong for your size.
Pretty strong. That's why I said.
So why are you beating me up?
I'll be gone. I'll be here. See you later. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going.
Here's your phone.
See you later. I'm the most tolerant person in the world. Anyone that comes to me for help.
I'm just a bit violent though.
Ever. Violent if you're a dick. But anyone that comes say, hey Ray, I'm hungry. I need something to eat. I'll be like, bro, my life is gonna stop for you.
Should I cook something?
It's not funny. No, it's not funny.
I know it's not funny. I know.
Like, that's my life.
I just thought of food. Like,
that's why I dedicate myself
should we have something to eat?
I'm a dick. And
you were being a bit of a dick.
I'm a dick all the time because I have no patience for human dickies.
I know what you mean. I'm like that too.
I don't give a shit
but
for human dickies.
I'm not the kind of guy you want to be.
I don't give a shit for human dickies. I don't give a shit. Like, I'll go on holiday and I'll be a dick to someone and I don't give a shit. Because I don't give a shit. But if someone comes up to me and says, I heard about you, Ree. I heard that you help people. And I'll be like, holy fucking
I don't know anything about you.
Shit! I will give you my life savings. Here. Goku. No. No, I've done that to people back in the Dragon Ball Z days.
Dragon Ball Z.
Z. Dragon Ball Z. They come up and they're all like, I can't do this. Tell me, shit. Vomit. I'm like, bro, just keep going. And they're like, you're fucking crazy. And I'm like, nah, just Dragon Ball Z, bro. Bam. And they're like, and I'm like, no. And they end up getting all the money. And I'm all like, me. And they get the money, and I'm like, me. And they all like work off my psycho kind of shit, you know?
I can kind of relate.
And I'm like, bro, you were fucking dumb, and I was fucking crazy. And you got shit, and I got nothing, and you got shit. And I was like, woo! And you got woo! And I got fuck you. Took to Danielle. So not fair. Danielle will fucking kick your ass.
Who's that?
So not fair. Danielle is God. Danielle is God of penis
Is that a friend of yours?
Majin Buu kicked me out.
I might have been God at the time.
What did Majin Buu say?
Who?
Majin Buu.
Margin. What?
Majin Buu. Did Majin Buu say something?
What's Margin Boo?
Oh, shit. Okay. As long as Majin Buu didn't say shit.
I don't know Margin Boo. Is that
That's
like
my
a
phone.
Kiwi thing? I know.
It's a God thing.
On though.
It's a God thing. Majin Buu didn't say anything. It's all good. Majin Buu is like, God. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Okay, you can be a dick. Like, it's whatever. I'll get arrested, whatever.
Come on, sit up here. Tell me. Come here.
I want to go have a look out the window, right?
Don't jump off or anything.
No, of course.
Okay. Before
that, I sat next to you, right? I sit next to you.
Yeah, right here.
Fuck. This is fucking awesome. No, I'm not. Don't like report me to crazy people, but
I'm gonna get a knock on the door. Isn't People with white coats are going to walk in. Alright, you got to come with us now.
No, I'll jump off the balcony with my fucking...
No, it's alright.
Mates with all...
I'm totally flattered that my vodka has done this to you.
No, I'm not like...
Suddenly he started feeling bad, and then a few weeks later he died of cancer. And I remember when my mum called me to tell him, I couldn't even stay on the phone. I had to get off the phone and just lie down and let it out. I don't think I've been so sad before.
What were you sad about?
What
were you sad about?
Oh, my grandpa died. It's really sudden.
As time passed, things began to get heated. According to Gable, Warina began throwing rocks at him.
They're not real. They're only fake. Oh my God, she's insane. Alright, I give up. What do you want? What do I have to do? Oh!
Sam.
Do what?
I don't understand.
Oh! What?
I don't understand, Dick.
Alright, I'll bow down. Who's Sam?
From Manchester.
I'll bow down to Sam.
Manchester.
Who?
Manchester.
Then, it sounds like Gable takes Warina down with the tackle. Gable's threats begin to get disturbing, and Gable gets physical.
I don't care, that's enough. No. That's enough. That is more than enough. You want it, you're welcome. You're not my kind of girl. That's enough, bro. You have to leave.
Okay. It's all good. He knows. It's all good.
I need a nice girl.
It's all good.
Fucking
It's
insane.
not about how you need. It's not about how.
Yeah, it is. You're fucking insane.
It's not about how you need. It's about how you give a shit now. Baby.
I thought you were only kidding, but you're not.
You're gonna poo.
You poo. Go on. Right now. I do need a sample of DNA. See, I thought you were kidding, and I've taken enough. This is fucking bullshit. You're lucky I haven't chucked you off my fucking balcony, you goddamn psycho little bitch. Who the fuck do you think I am? Yeah, do your Muay Thai now. What? What? Got something to say? Say it.
Yeah.
Say it. What?
Sexist.
Yeah, right. I'm the one who's injured. You don't have a goddamn scratch on you, you little bitch.
You're Seriously. Adrian.
Seriously, what? Seriously, what?
Adrian. Michael.
Seriously, what?
Adrian. Adrian.
I thought you were just playing around. But I'm fucking sick of this shit. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna walk you out of this apartment. Just the way you are. You're not gonna collect any belongings or anything, you're just gonna walk out. And I'm gonna slam the door on you. You understand? If you try to pull anything, I'll knock you out. I'll knock you the fuck out. Do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand?
What you're about to hear is very disturbing. While the cause for what transpired may never be known, what does happen is that Warina falls 14 floors. She doesn't survive.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
No!
Hmm?
No! No!
You're
No!
trying to kill me, huh?
No!
Why'd you try to hit me with that?
No!
Huh?
No! 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 No!
Fucking mouth.
No!
It's all on recording, you know? It's all being recorded. I would, but you've been a bad girl.
After Warina fell, Gable doesn't call emergency personnel, he calls his lawyer.
Hi, the person you have called is not available. Please leave a short 10-second message after the tone, and we'll send the message as a text.
According to Gable, he didn't go to the balcony and look over the edge because he felt if someone saw him doing so, that would make him look guilty. Minutes after Warina falls to her death, Gable heads downstairs.
Where the fuck are my keys?
He sees the emergency vehicles are already at the scene, so, to avoid contact, he goes back through the apartment building, up an elevator, and out an exit through a parking garage. After separating himself from the scene, Gable began to wander around the Gold Coast aimlessly. Personally, I can't imagine what thoughts passed through his mind in these moments. So much had transpired, almost all at once. It's these moments that interest me the most. At 3:11 a.m., Gable does something he will go on to regret. He steps into Cavalave's shop and orders a slice of pizza. After eating his pizza, he calls his father and has this to say. "Hello, Dad. Might have a bit of a situation. I locked her out of the balcony, and I think she might have jumped. I've been walking around, and there's a million cops around my building. And I swear to God, I didn't push her. I just chucked her out on the balcony because she was beating me up. Why does this shit happen to me? I didn't do anything wrong." And at 3:44 a.m., his father picks him up. Gable admits to his father that he tackled Warina, but repeats several times that he didn't throw her off the balcony. Part 5. Fallout. The media circus that surrounds Gable Tostee is immediate. Referred to by many news outlets as the Tinder murder, Gable, more so than the events that transpired, or even Warina, is covered in exhaustive detail. His personal history, social media accounts, forum accounts, and of course, Tinder use, are combed over by the media. Any new piece of information on his background snatched up and placed on every major New Zealand and Australian news websites. When the trial came, it became a major point of interest. At the trial, witnesses spoke. The first, Gabrielle, lived on the 13th floor. At 2 a.m., she woke to the sound of a scuffle, one floor up. Gabrielle heard a woman scream over and over. Concerned, Gabrielle went to her sliding glass terrace door to be sure that the noise was coming from upstairs. As she opened her glass door, Gabrielle froze in shock. 2 legs dangled in her vision. Before Gabrielle could act, Warina plummeted to her death. Gabrielle recalls screaming and hearing Warina scream as well. When she looked over the edge of the balcony, Warina lay dead on the ground. The next witness, Nick, was on the 12th floor. He said he heard cries for help coming from above. Like Gabrielle, he went to his balcony. 2 floors up, he saw Warina lowering herself from Gable's balcony. According to Nick, he heard her say, "I want to go home," and "help." Nick told her to climb up and go back inside, but shortly after, Warina fell. Quote, "She fell straight past where I was standing on the balcony and ricocheted off a few balconies below us, and kept on going to the ground." Emily lived 1 floor below Gable Tostee. She heard Warina say, I just want to go home. Please, let me go home," and described her as sounding quite scared. In describing Warina's fall, Emily had this to say, "I couldn't work out the logic of why she was the way she was. All I could see, because I'm quite short, I could see the bottom of her feet. I couldn't work out what or why she was doing. And she wasn't gripping either. She wasn't on a ledge, so her feet were dangling. I couldn't work out, she trying to get down or she trying to get somewhere else. And then, by the time I tried to work out what she was doing, she was gone. She'd fallen. There was just shock in her voice. When she was coming down, she started twisting herself. I did see a lot of her body, which alerted me. Like she's coming out on the edge. I don't know what she was thinking because her feet were coming towards me first. It wasn't if she was crouching or anything." Emily described the fall as instantaneous. Quote, "She was just gone. Feet were pointing away from the building. Her back was towards the building." So, according to the witness that seemed to see the most of Warina before her fall, Warina's back faced towards the building with her feet facing away from the building. This is in direct opposition to a popular photo shared frequently by news media in which Warina's feet faced towards the building. This is important because if true, I feel it shines a light on some crucial details. The jury struggled to deliberate. It took 4 days before they found Gable Tostee not guilty of murder. Part 6. Final thoughts and speculation. I'm going to stray away from objectivity on this one and give some theories, because despite being found not guilty, I think it's difficult to feel confident that Gable Tostee is innocent. I personally have come to 2 theories after reviewing the full, uncut audio more times than I can count. Please, keep in mind that these are just speculative. I'm in no way an expert. Theory number 1. Let's get what I'm sure the less popular theory is out of the way. That Warrena fell to her death while attempting to climb down from the balcony. Even with that in mind, I still don't think it paints Gable in a positive light. I feel that in either theory, Gable encouraged Warrena to drink far too much. He's cognitive of her state of inebriation throughout the entirety of the over 3-hour audio recording. That much is clear. Yet, he keeps making drinks, and she keeps drinking them. So, if her fall was an accident, this is what I believed happened. Gable, tired of the physical altercations with Warrena, got fed up, becomes physical with her, and tackles her. When restraining her doesn't seem to work, he begins to threaten her. When Gable lets her up, Warrena goes for the camera stand clamp. According to Gable, this is the item Warrena attempted to use against him in the audio recording. I see no reason to disbelieve that. What matters is the context. This is the point where things get fuzzy. I think prior to this moment, the events are very similar. Though, I think the context shifts for certain actions by Warrena, but we'll get to that. Why Warrena is attacking Gable, and why Gable places Warrena on the balcony, is what's open to interpretation. In this theory, Warrena is too drunk, and, continuing to escalate the violence, she grabs the stand. Gable grabs Warrena and places her on the balcony. According to Gable, he had tried for the front door before, but she fought too much. Shortly after Gable re-enters the apartment from the balcony, Warrena climbs down to escape, but in her drunken state, loses her grip and falls. Theory number 2. There are too many things that nag me about Gable's actions. Certain aspects of the recording, when upon listening to them multiple times, seem to be strange and too coincidental to be believed. First, before I get too deep, let's lay some foundation. Gable obviously isn't above preparation for things the average person wouldn't think of. When asked why he would record his Tinder date, he asked a reporter why you wouldn't record a Tinder date, alluding to the understanding that recording your date is a form of a security blanket in case things went south. With that in mind, I want to talk about the balcony. Gable mentions the balcony multiple times in ways that creep me out. The first, when Warrena first asks to see the balcony, he tells her not to fall.
Come here.
I want to go have a look out the window, right?
Don't jump off or anything.
No, because.
Okay. Don't jump off or anything.
No, because.
The inflection in his voice, I personally find very strange when he says it. I don't want to get too conspiracy-minded, but the inflection hits me in a way that when he said it, he's very cognitive that he's recording the date. Then later, he flat out tells her that he should just toss her off the balcony.
That's right.
Throw me off the balcony.
No, it's wrong. That's right.
Throw me off the balcony.
No, it's wrong.
I don't really need to explain why that one feels like a horrible coincidence at best. Another strange thing that keeps coming up is Warrena's phone and money. It gets mentioned several times that the two are looking for her stuff. At times, it almost seems like Gable is antagonizing Warrena, practically gaslighting her.
As long as Marge and Boo didn't say shit.
I don't know Marge and Boo. Is that
That's
like
my
a
phone.
Kiwi thing? I know. Is that
That's
like
my
a
phone.
Kiwi thing? I know.
He keeps shifting the location of where her stuff is, first saying it's near his bed, and then later telling her it's on the balcony.
Must be on the balcony. Must be on the balcony.
In a very strange moment, Gable even taunts Warrena with the fact that she can't call 911 because she doesn't have her phone.
Call them with what? I thought you lost your phone.
Exactly.
So how are you going to call anyone without your
You
phone?
stole my fucking phone.
And then, when he keeps asking for her number, it's very clear that Gable is less intoxicated than Warrena. But why is it that he keeps asking for her phone number? According to the official story, the two swap numbers. When he does go to call her, he makes only a half-hearted attempt and claims that her battery's dead. There's something about this that just seems off.
Well, why don't you have fucking sonar?
Your phone must be out of battery.
Later, when things get heated, Gable tells Warrena to leave without her stuff. I don't understand why he would tell her this. Again, I don't want to get too conspiratorial, but it seems like Gable is potentially antagonizing Warrena by hiding her things when she's too inebriated. Now, to get uncomfortable, I genuinely believe that in both theories, Gable choked out Warrena. I've heard the wheeze of someone regaining their breath after a rear naked choke, and it's unforgettable. The wheezing in the recording is very disturbing.
Let go of it. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go.
I think there's a chance that the jury couldn't really grasp this aspect. I don't imagine most people experience the sound of someone recovering from being strangled, so I can't really blame them. I also think that Gable could have easily got Warrena out the front door. He's a large man, and in later interviews, he never seems really comfortable discussing this aspect of the case. Now, onto the thing that concerns me the most, the third witness. What bothers me the most is that according to Emily, Warrena's back was pressed against the building. In my opinion, this is very important and crucial for understanding what transpired on that balcony. Ask yourself this: how often have you climbed down something back first? In this theory, Gable brings her to the balcony in a fit of rage, tries to toss her over the railing. Warrena manages to tangle herself up on the railing, but still finds herself in a precarious position. The tenants below hear Warrena pleading to just go inside, but Gable is already storming inside and breathing heavily. Now, Warrena is dangling from the balcony, faced away from the building. So, as described by the witness, she tries to twist around. Why would she twist around? To climb back up. Think about the difficulty of climbing up back first. But when she twists, she loses her grip and plummets 14 stories. No matter what version of the story is considered, I find Gable's actions to be very cold. He showed no sympathy for Warrena in the slightest. After she fell, he didn't even look over the edge, and his excuse for not doing so doesn't ring true to me. Guilty or not, he just didn't seem to care about her well-being. I don't want to go too deep into his past, as there are many people who are jerks at bars, or had a criminal history as a minor, who didn't potentially kill a woman. Due to so much scrutiny and the media coverage, Gable is now known as Eric Thompson. He has engaged in at least one eating competition and is studying architecture. And what about Tinder? The modern app for a modern true crime mystery. Well, Gable went back to using the app months after the trial ended. Let me ask you something. To you, the listener. If you were on Tinder and Gable Tostee's profile came up on the app, would you swipe right? So, listener, what is your opinion? Was it just a Tinder date gone wrong and an accidental fall? Or did Gable Tostee get away with murder? It's worth noting that Gable received $150,000 for an interview on 60 Minutes. Ultra classy move on that one. I want to thank you for listening again this week. If you're new here, thanks for giving us a shot. Consider leaving us a review on iTunes. Next week, I'll be reading some iTunes reviews, so if you're interested in being featured on the show, now's your chance. If you'd like to support us further, tell your friends or shout us out on your favorite Facebook group. More ears is the best way for us to expand. And that's it for this week's episode. Thank you again for listening, and take care.
Obscura, a true crime podcast, is released every Wednesday. Subscribe if you'd like to continue hearing quality content.